Hi, I'm Rick Fox, co-founder and capability coach at Frank. I'm really excited for our next guest as a part of the Talking Safety series, brought to you from the 23rd World Congress on Safety and Health at Work. She's a World Congress Fellow, social development strategist, the founder of the Safety Chick and the UGIP Foundation, a children's author, online game and app developer, TEDx speaker, and a strong advocate for African women and youth. In 2018, she was selected by the US government to receive the Mandela Washington Fellowship as one of Africa's promising leaders, and in 2019 was awarded the Shining Star at the Africa Safety Awards for Excellence. Among her many other accolades, you may have seen her through her media appearances and speaking spots at international events. It's a massive welcome to Ugochi Obidiegwu. Welcome to Australia. Have you been before?
No, this is my first time in Australia.
Now, you only flew in yesterday. Did you have an opportunity to do anything or see anything in Sydney?
Not yet. It was a really long flight, so I needed to sleep first.
Appreciate that. So we want to know about you, Ugochi. Can you share a bit about your background and life before you got into health and safety?
Okay, so my undergrad degree was in communication and language arts in the University of Ibadan. So I really wanted to work in strategy with advertising agencies. And I interned in one, and when I graduated from school, I worked for a very short while with a marketing communications firm. And then I got into aviation as a cabin crew. Yeah, so while I was on the job as a cabin crew, I was one of the youngest cabin crew. And when you are a cabin crew, you learn about safety, you learn about emergencies, and every 12 months you have to write these recurrent exams. So I aced my exam so well, and my boss thought, okay, maybe we should give this lady more responsibility. And she made me the safety officer. That was how I got to know about health and safety.
What was the next step in progressing your health and safety career?
So when she made me a safety officer, I had to do some research because I like to do things well, and I realized that I didn't know much about what she was asking me to do. So I had to do some research, and in the course of reading, I liked what I was finding out. And then I saw that to be an effective safety officer, you need to have KATE. And KATE is knowledge, ability, training, and experience. And I didn't really have a lot of that because she just made me a safety officer. So I started to learn using my road now in aviation. And also during my leave, I would take certification courses and look for opportunities to work for free, just so that I could learn. I was doing all this because I wanted to leave the aviation industry eventually and work as a safety officer in oil and gas. Because oil and gas, aviation and construction are the ones that really take safety seriously compared to other sectors. And then when I felt I had gotten some level of KATE, I tried to apply for jobs and I wasn't getting any. Nobody called me back. And one of these days, I had a divine inspiration from God actually to start a safety business and just teach people about safety. I had lost my mom in an avoidable road accident. And before I got to this scene, people who were on the scene did not know what to do, so they couldn't really help as they should. Eventually, when I found my mom, I knew what to do as a trained cabin crew because, you learn about these things. But again, people around me didn't know how to help, including the police. People really want to help in an emergency, but they don't always have the right knowledge. So because I had worked in aviation and I saw how we didn't have plane crashes every day because, we had safety systems, I thought maybe if we could simplify safety knowledge, people would know what to do. And that's what really convinced me that, okay, setting up a health and safety business was the next thing to do.
So after we identified these issues, what can we do to change it, to turn it around?
So top of mind for me, there are three things. The first is we need a multi-stakeholder approach to this problem. So we need to work with ministries or departments of education. We need to work with safety associations, safety regulatory agencies, child safety professionals like myself, injury prevention specialists from public health, and even private organizations. Because when we bring all these different specializations into solving the problem, we're going to create a holistic solution that is going to be unique to each context. And so this is really important. So private organizations, say like some foundations, businesses, they could really come in handy. So a multi-stakeholder approach is very important. Then the second thing is I really believe in interactive safety education content. We can't just keep on making just bulky or boring material for children. If we really want them to get this thing and get it in a simple way, then we have to make it interactive. We need to begin to think of games. We need to think of immersive experiences, cartoons, movies. There have been cases where children just watch something in a movie and then they practiced it in real life. So this shows the power of media. And so as much as we're talking about safety education in the classroom, I'm also advocating for safety education outside the classroom. So when they're watching something, a cartoon, there should be something that they can learn from that which can be implemented in real life. And then the third one is partnerships. This kind of work is expensive, and you really need institutional backing to really push it out at scale. Remember, I really want all children to have access, not just some children. And so those partnerships are really important.
Can you share a bit about the programs that you've developed in response to this issue? For example, Train Them Young or the School Safety Summit.
So the Train Them Young initiative was basically about taking this knowledge to schools and teaching the children. Because one of the things I realized after deciding I wanted to set up a health and safety business was people felt that it wasn't their portion, God forbid, it wasn't going to happen. And then I saw that there was a deeper issue. And this is because we've not had safety education in our schools as something that we learned growing up. And so that's why I began to take it to school. When we tested knowledge levels at the beginning, it was about 58.2%. Then at the end of the program, it had risen to 76.5%. And we began to see the potential of how this could even increase if it was a longer timeline, say an academic year. And then the School Safety Summit, we saw that, yes, as much as we teach the children, the adults who work or live with these children need to also know what to do. Otherwise, it's a problem. And so the School Safety Summit is a forum for stakeholders to come together, identify challenges affecting school safety, and then come up with solutions to manage them. So we usually have representatives from government agencies, safety professionals who come and train teachers and parents so that at least they're able to take that knowledge and run with it.
What are the main challenges you face in taking a program of work like this global?
Getting the right partners, and also the bureaucracy that can be involved with, getting something adopted on a statewide or a nationwide level. So there are many protocols, to getting these things done. But I believe that with the right partners, it can make it seamless. Nothing is going to be perfectly easy, but it just makes the journey lighter and easier, most especially when you're a young organization or you don't have all the backing and all the resources. It just really helps, to move the work ahead. Because at the end of the day, it's not really about me. It's not really about my own organization. It's about moving the work forward. It's about ensuring that more children have access. You're focusing on the children. You're focusing on safety. You're focusing on the future workforce. And when you do that, it's just going to make you have the right perspective.
Working with children, it must be incredibly fun. Have you got any stories to share with us about working with kids?
A parent sent me an email one time, and the email had a little boy looking at the book steadily, and then there was another picture of him sleeping, holding on to the child safety storybook. And she says since they got this book that he didn't want to let go. He was always just looking at the pictures, and he didn't want anybody to take it away from him. That he thinks she thinks that he really likes, the pictures and all of that. I was like, okay, that's interesting. Then there was another one where a mom sent an email that her daughter told her that she wasn't going to attend to her yet until she laid her bed, because the lead character in the game app laid her bed before attending to the parent. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And then there was another mom during the COVID period. We had made a small booklet just to teach children how to, manage COVID. And the mom sent an email saying, I know you made this book for children, but even I enjoyed reading the book and even doing the activities within the book. So those touched my heart.
That must be incredibly rewarding for you to get those emails. I don't get emails like that. Ugochi, thank you so much for taking the time to share your vision and the work with us. You can find out more about Ugochi's work by visiting thesafetychick.com. And a reminder, you can join the chat on this subject and many more via the World Congress event platform, where you'll also find a big range of resources from the 23rd World Congress on Health and Safety at Work. Thanks so much for watching.